Erica,
Mm-hmm.
I did something.
What did
We
you
have new
do?
intro music.
Ugh. Better be good, man.
Are you prepared? New intro music for 2025. Are you ready?
It's only our new intro music if I approve, but go for it.
3, 2, 1.
This is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood.
You are my BRF.
What's happening, Eric?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
How did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendation scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God.
It's like icing on for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And like,
But I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not very true. Okay.
And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot.
I don't need to tinkle.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 144 of the On the Runs podcast. I'm back from Sweden after my trip took a turn for the worse since we last talked. Erica's cats are fighting. We just got hit with a foot of snow, and we have an amazing guest on today's pod. But first, I need to say hello to my amazing rockstar of a co-host who is so worried I ruined the new intro music. 6-star Erica, what's up?
You had me going for a minute, dude. I was like, no, I love our music, but that is a nice change. I also thought you were going to rickroll me right there, so thank you for not doing that.
I had you going for 36 hours.
You did. You're like, don't worry about it. Just don't let it ruin your day. And, well, it didn't ruin my day. I did kind of forget about it after we talked the weekend. But you know what, man? I'm on board with that. I can get on board.
You like that? That's
I
a
do.
nice little change. We're evolving with the times.
Okay.
What's cool is I can easily take out a part and add a part. And I already did that because I already made a couple changes.
Oh, cool.
You want to take a guess? Like I clipped so many clips that it went to over. Well, here's the guess. Guess how many minutes of clips I totally took?
Probably a solid 10 or 15 minutes.
Over
More?
30.
Oh,
over 30
okay.
minutes of clips. And then I'm sorting
We got
through.
a lot of stuff to go through.
There's so many I could have used. And I was like, oh, I got to get rid of this one. I got to get rid of that one. Like Patrick, I'm sorry. I took out the one that says, okay, here's a code brown no one's ever heard before. I took out so many. I can't even, now that I'm talking about it, I can't think of them on the top of my head. But I saved them. And I can put some in, put some out, or if some amazing clip. Like Addie Zarenner was one. And it was like, I finished the race and they look at me like, what do we do with her?
Such good memories, man. Episode 11 was Addie's. Wow, that's going way back to our roots. Mm.
Yeah, but that was
tough.
fun. I was
love
on
it.
a 7-hour flight.
So you had some time to kill.
No internet. So I prepped before this. I clipped everything. I threw it on the computer and dude, I had fun doing that. I had fun.
Cool.
And it's weird editing it without the music. And then you throw the music and then you just adjust a little bit here, just a little bit there. I had to add the Pam clip where I don't get to run because I'm sober. I run or I already forget it. I would have to play it.
I actually just listened to that before we logged on today because a lot of what Pam had to say in that clip kind of deals with what our guest today speaks about, and I really like the message. So we can get into that. Yeah.
Our guest today is amazing.
So
but
excited.
We're not getting there yet because guess what today is? National what day? You're going to love this.
Well, technically it's Martin Luther King Day.
True.
It's inauguration day.
True. It's Monday night. We're recording on Monday night, but January 20th.
What day is
National Penguin Day.
Yay! Penguins! What's up, all of my penguins? There's 35 of us right now.
Yeah.
The history of the penguin.
Your team has grown. Does that 35 include me? Am I still on it, or am I a one-off So I
No,
need to
you're in it. Once a penguin, always a penguin. Because we've had some who have subbed in for years, but are still like active in our penguin community, and so of course, yes, you're a penguin.
very cool, very cool.
But dude,
I'm honorary
we got
penguin.
no. You ran. You're good. But we have a lot to unpack here based on your intro. There, you said, "Hey, I'm home from Sweden," but it took a turn for the worse. What
Oh, yeah.
happened? You were out there having a blast, so you gotta tell me what happened,
I wasn't
especially
planning-
looking
I
at
wasn't-
your eyeball there.
My eye,
something's
yeah,
amiss.
yeah. I didn't get in a fight. I'll tell you that.
Bummer.
I had for the first time ever
Mhm.
food poisoning.
Oh shit. Oh,
It was
shit.
awful. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I was like, which way is it? Is it like the bleh kind of one or the other?
Both. It was
at
both.
the same time.
And dude, it was 12 hours after we recorded. Remember we recorded on Wednesday night?
Yeah,
12
you were
in the
having
morning for
you
me.
were having a blast.
Right. And I just had duck. I've had all these weird foods. Well,
Oh, was it the duck?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think it was the McDonald's. Remember we got McDonald's?
No shit.
The
Really?
McDonald's tasted a little funny. And
Really?
I woke up the next morning. I went to the gym. I jumped in the sauna. Treat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car. I'm riding in the back seat, and Carlos. I love the guy, but he's from Kansas. He doesn't know how to drive in cities. And I'm getting sick. I asked him, I cracked the window. I turned the air on. I started to get sick.
Oh no.
I called it at lunchtime. I went back to my hotel room and slept for 16 hours.
16 hours?
16, but I would wake up every 2 hours because my stomach was killing me. I went through a whole little travel size bottle of Tums. And I woke up the next day and my boss Andrew goes, "Dude, your eye." And I don't notice, but people notice when I'm not looking. Like right now, I'm looking over here. You can see it probably.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Holy shit, dude.
So I popped a blood vessel in my eyeball.
Did you shit too hard or something?
No, that was definitely during a code green.
Oh,
yeah,
buddy.
Because I had tears coming out of my eyes and my face was hurting when I was, dude, I don't know what it was, but it passed pretty quickly. The next morning I woke up and I just took it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if my flight was that next morning, I would not have gotten on that airplane.
Oh, no.
Because you see those stories of dude has massive diarrhea on an airplane and
thank you, Patrick.
Plane has to turn around. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not.
For the record, Patrick didn't do that on a plane. He just sent us the article about it. I don't want to spread any false rumors.
I mean, I don't know.
No, you said it was me, and I was like, what?
Well, you have.
I would have told you about
you have
it.
That fear of farting on an airplane.
Yeah, you think
I thought
take
of
shits
I
on
thought
airplanes?
of when I was there.
No way.
But yeah, I wasn't drunk. I only had 2 beers that night. Had duck and some other weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, crazy with the eye. Crazy.
Well, you definitely seem like you're rebounded because we saw you partying it up in a club not too long after. Dude.
I had a flight the next morning, at 7 a.m. We said we're gonna go out for dinner. We're not going to this club, okay?
Uh-huh.
And so, but our name was on the list.
Famous
for the club.
last words. That's what I'm telling you.
But then my boss and I were like, okay, we'll go till 12. That would have been 90 minutes, and we left around 2:30. We left around 2:30.
God.
And this place had multiple levels. Downstairs was some kind of music. Upstairs was EDM music. This other room was karaoke. I ended up scoring a table in the karaoke room, and I texted, "Hey, karaoke room, I got a table."
Yeah,
this is first come first serve. When someone leaves, grab it. That was clutch, and that led to why we stayed so long. We had a table. Everyone was having a great time, and we walked back to the hotel at 2:30. I took a shower. I did not want to take a nap because I wouldn't have gotten up. And around 4, I walked to the train station and jumped on the train. I was at the airport way too early, but this train is sick. It just takes you straight to the airport. Goes at 115 miles an hour.
Right.
And I was there a little early because I couldn't get into my gate area until an hour before my flight. But whatever. I didn't miss a flight. I felt better. I wasn't hungover drunk or any of that.
And you didn't sleep on the plane because you were too busy clipping audio things for the...
I slept on the first plane.
Oh.
It was a 3-hour flight to London.
Okay.
And I had plenty of time in London this time to get to my
Did it go better in Heathrow?
Yeah, much better. And then I watched a movie on the first flight before I clipped everything. Hey, do you want to know a pro insider's tip?
Sure.
So, I have my food allergy
Yes.
and I can't eat anything dairy. Well, pro insider's tip, if you're sitting economy, just tell them you have a serious food allergy and you get a first class meal.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. I might have to use that.
I got the greatest meal on this 7-hour flight. Everyone else got this. All the other pigeons in economy got like this microwavable crap, right?
Mhm.
They brought me this platter of fresh salmon and fruit and avocado and everything. And it's funny. She goes, here's some real silverware for you too. None of that cardboard garbage in her British accent.
Nice.
They treated me so good on this airplane where it's like, geez, should I even tell our listeners on the pod, like insider tip? I don't want this to go away. So just use it discreetly. Tell them when you're sitting economy, I have a food allergy. Don't say peanuts because they freak out. And then they tell the whole entire plane. Just say, I can't eat dairy. I can't have dairy. And they'll get you something amazing. They're
Good
awesome.
to know. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you got treated right after having a not so great chunk of hours, code greens. Yeah, that does not sound fun. But hey, welcome home. Have
Welcome
some snow.
home. I had a great day today. I went skiing.
Of course
was
you
awesome.
did.
It was
Of course
awesome.
you did.
Amazing
Oh,
snow.
because you didn't have to work. I had to work today.
It was amazing.
I don't get any of the good holidays.
I wasn't by myself, but I was with Brandon.
No shit. How's
Yeah.
he doing?
He's doing great. Adeline stayed home because she had a big sleepover last night. So I was like, let's go skiing. Brandon's doing well. Brandon's doing very well. So
Good.
you know who else is doing very well?
Do tell.
Our amazing guest today, our
Of course.
badass guest today, Miss Kelly Roberts. How
Kelly
cool
Roberts.
is this?
I fucking love you. She is as awesome as we know her to be. She was just so open and honest and real. God, I love her so much.
It was fantastic. We haven't joked. We've been serious about having her on for a while.
Oh,
well
I wanted
over a
this
year
forever.
ago.
Yeah.
Well over a
Been
year
following
ago.
her for years. Mhm.
Right. And then we met her. We'll get to all that. You'll get to hear it on the pod.
yeah,
But we
yeah,
got
yeah,
to
yeah.
meet her. You got to meet her. But Kelly is awesome. You guys are going to love her. This one was a long time coming. But everyone, enjoy the amazing, the badass Kelly Roberts on the On the Runs podcast. Our next guest on the pod is the leader of the Badass Lady Gang, who is all about body positivity, laughing hysterically, and inspiring others to get active. She loves to take selfies with incredibly attractive men in the background. She flies to Tokyo just to see a Taylor Swift concert. She counts all the dogs and has experienced one of the wildest triathlons ever. Not to forget, she creates some of the best signs you'll ever see on a marathon course. Along with that and so much more, we are wicked excited to welcome Kelly Roberts to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Kelly?
Did you write that?
Yes, and I didn't proofread it, and I messed up halfway, but whatever.
No, I mean, listen, most of the time when people do my bio, it makes me want to crawl out of my skin, but that was fun.
Yes.
You
yes.
did it. 10 years of this, and you did one where I wasn't like, oh. It was just giggles.
It's one of my goals. It's one of my things. It's the bios. It's the intros. I love to do it. I mess up a lot of the time.
No, that was great.
As long as I don't mess up your name. I only did that to one person, and that
I mean, my name is fairly difficult to mess up.
How are you, though?
I'm crazy. I need to be medicated today.
We love crazy.
Oh, man. I'm in the same boat. I just got back from visiting my parents over the holiday, and we got in at like 2:00 in the morning. I wish I drank coffee because I need to be energetic for you because you just bring so much energy to this podcast, and I'm so excited to have you, Kelly. Yay,
I'm
welcome.
high octane. That is for sure.
I need that. You are my coffee this morning.
Kelly, we've actually met before. You've met Erica more than once. You've met her a handful of times, actually. But we just met earlier in the year at the Boston Run Show.
Yeah.
You were actually working. You were like operating the stage. And I talked about it on the podcast a long time ago around the show. It was like, you were really good. You were like active. You were getting everyone involved. And then I went back because we just dropped a bunch of best of 2024 episodes. And there was an episode where I was saying, you know what? I was actually really nervous to go up and talk to you, but I was like, I have to go. I don't know. It was so weird. But I heard that. I'm like, I want to mention it. We're talking to you today. I'm not nervous right now. I showered. I brushed my teeth. I'm feeling good.
I'm a
Not that
little
you can
bit.
smell me.
just because I've been seeing you on Instagram for so long, Kelly. Like I'm repping a badass lady.
Oh my
gang
God,
shirt.
original.
back
That's
from-
so
I ha-
old.
I had to look it up, and I was like, I bought this in 2019.
Yeah,
I've
that's
been following you for a long
pre-COVID.
time, right?
That's like the
So-
first one that we ever did with like a beautiful design on the back.
Yeah,
Like
the back is
that's one of my
kick-ass.
favorite shirts.
It's so soft too. I love this shirt. So
I do too.
I've been rocking the badass lady gang for quite a while now. So
Aw,
we're so
Erica.
excited to have you.
That is so cool. I love that shirt.
Me too. I had
Erica,
to break
maybe
it out
you
today.
should have done the intro. How did you find Kelly then so long ago and get the OG shirt?
You know, I have no idea, but it's got to be through the running pod. Like you had your own podcast, but like it's through the running world. The running community is just so amazing, and you find people that match your spirit and your vibe, and you just keep hanging on. You just keep following. So that's
so cool.
I'd like to say I'm an OG, but probably not from the very, very beginning. But yeah,
I wish 2019 was the beginning. It was 2014 is when it all began. But Badass
I
Lady
didn't
Gang
even-
really started in like 16. Oh, so I guess that's 3 years.
yeah, I'm not very
Been doing
active
this
on
too long.
Instagram, so but you were one of the ones that I like to follow along with, because your content is just so fun and relatable and just entertaining. So you do a
TikTok's
wonderful
been
job.
throwing me a lot of ads that's like, here's how to make high quality content. And I'm like, what are you saying to me?
Thanks. How rude.
After I got the 10th one, I was like, what's going on?
They're trying to say something and it doesn't sound very nice.
I'm offended.
You should be. Thanks, TikTok.
So now I'm
Way
like,
to
not
go.
interested, not interested, not interested. I'm like, I need to talk to my therapist about why I'm so triggered right now.
They're just throwing rude shit at you. That's what it is.
Mean.
How
like ads. They're throwing ads at me like that. I don't know what that means.
Now, Kelly,
good.
Go ahead.
Now, Kelly, you probably don't remember, but Erica, you two have met a few times now.
So besides the Boston Run Show, I actually met you back in 2022 in Chicago.
2022.
You were doing a shakeout run, and I had just finished. I usually do the Chicago 5K whenever I head out that way.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was just like, oh my God, it's Kelly. Like I could see you
Where
guys
were
getting
we?
ready. You were by the Bean, by Cloudgate, and you guys were just getting ready, and you had like a whole
okay.
circle full of girls, and you were like
Yes.
pumping up, and I kind of like was lurking, and I was like, hi Kelly, and I got.
Did you do
a selfie with you.
intros?
No, I couldn't stick around for very long because we had brunch reservations with
Oh,
my boyfriend and
amazing.
his family. So I got to talk to you for a couple minutes, got a selfie, and then
Aw.
and had to be on my way. But I was like, I need to join one of these runs. Like I would have done a second run if I could.
They're very fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
guys
there's
were
not
having
much
a
running
blast,
that happens.
which is perfect. 'Cause, I mean,
it's mostly talking.
I mean, that's the most fun though. You go to Chicago, you're ready to run the marathon, and you have to do a shakeout. So that's
Yeah,
the kind of shakeout I would
hate-
rather do is just
Hate shakeout runs.
socializing and not really moving my legs.
Stresses me out. I'd rather
Mhm.
everyone just stand and talk to each other and make a couple friends, people you can like go to the start village with.
Yeah.
There's so many horror stories of people getting like hit by bicyclists or like cars because
Oh my
everyone acts like animals and like runs in the streets and like pretends like, oh, we're in a big group, nothing bad can happen to me. And then you're like, oh, cool. So not only do I have a broken leg now, but like I can't run the race.
Mhm.
And I'm like, the whole idea of a shakeout run with thousands of people is just bonkers to me.
Seriously.
It's been blowing up too.
The way
It's all-
you've been
it's
doing it is perfect.
So stressful. I hate them.
Well, keep doing what you're doing because that is the way. And
Stand in a circle
wouldn't
and talk.
hurt it.
That is the way.
Mhm.
Make a couple buddies.
The best way. So, Kelly, since I am not one of the original Badass Lady Gang members,
That's okay.
let's get into how you started your running journey.
Yeah, I started like most people. I think I had a manic meltdown. And I mean, before I started running, I really did think people who ran forever, like they ran and they were sporty people or were born to run, you know, like I really did think that, which now that I'm in the position I'm in, I've learned most people think that until they are either like just desperate enough to start running or have something that makes them want to do it, you
Mhm.
know, whether it's like a breakup, a death, someone cons you into it, you know, like all of
Peer
these
pressure.
yeah, all these things that we most of us start running with.
Yeah.
I was in a really bad spot. Truthfully, I mean, trigger warning. I had an eating disorder, a really, really bad eating disorder, and had lost a lot of weight, and people really, really celebrated me for it. And I had just graduated from college, so I had lost this free gym that I had. I truly would go to the gym for like 90 minutes to, sometimes 2 hours, like AM and PM, which was bad, really bad. But to everyone else, it was like, wow, she cares so much about her health, and no one was like, oh, red flag. That's a lot. That's a lot. Nope. Just go you go girl. You're an inspiration. And I lost that. And like any extrinsically motivated goal, weight loss, doing that got harder and harder. And I got really scared about gaining weight. And it was Thanksgiving the day I started running. So the gym was closed. And I was really struggling with grief. I had lost my brother when I was in college, really unexpectedly. He died from alcohol poisoning. He was 16.
Oh my gosh.
So really tragic, hard loss. And I used both exercise and my theater program to hide from dealing with it. And I was in therapy, but I wasn't really doing the work. I wasn't ready to do the work yet. So all of these coping mechanisms disappeared when I graduated. So I found a new one. I started running. The gym was closed, and I truly was, I hadn't slept in like 2 days. Like I'm not joking when I say like I was having a manic episode, like I really was. And went for a run, like I kind of was like, I can't lay in bed. Like I'm afraid of what will happen if I stay in bed.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'd always tried running. I had this idea that running would make me skinny. And I thought, I work out more than anyone I know. There's no way I can't run now. Every time I'd tried to run before, I'd get 2 minutes in and just feel like I'm going to die. I didn't have which I now know is aerobic capacity, how that works. And so I always just felt like I felt like a failure. I felt like it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed that I couldn't do it for like more than 3 minutes or 2 minutes before needing to like really walk. And like that was such a bad feeling to me. I think PE and other things that I'd tried in high school and being a people pleaser and an overachiever, like I didn't like doing things I wasn't very good at.
Yeah.
So a lot of like value systems were wrapped up in that. So running was something that just did not feel like I should be doing. But that day, like I honestly was so desperate that I just kept going.
I needed something for an outlet, right?
Yeah. And it was frustrating because I did get down the block and like had to walk. And I was like, that's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. I go to the gym for hours and hours and hours a day. Why can't I run? But I was desperate I couldn't go home. I was too scared to go home. So I walked and then I ran and I walked and I ran and I sat on a bench for like 30 minutes and cried and like, just like had a main character breakdown moment out in the wild of San Diego at like 5 in the morning.
Sometimes you need that though. Yeah. That is cathartic. It's
truly.
Just, helpful.
But I was really sore and I was in a place where that felt nice. I liked to hurt in a way I had packaged it up as like, it was a hurt that meant I was getting stronger, which now not so much, not great, but I liked it. I liked that hurt and I liked that I like felt motivated. So I decided like, I'll run a half marathon in June. So it was Thanksgiving. I ended up running a half marathon in January. Then, ran the half marathon I had originally intended to do. I ran the marathon and that changed my life. I was like, if I can run a marathon, I truly can do anything. I need to just move to New York and figure it out. And so my life kind of started thanks to that marathon.
Wow. Which marathon was it that you started with?
Rock and Roll San Diego.
Ah, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Hilly.
Is that originally where you're from? The West Coast?
I'm from Carlsbad.
I've actually been there. Random
I'm sure you have. It's like a very like surfy, like we have Legoland.
I have some extended family who lived out there. They were by the Omni Hotel, like that really nice hotel. I don't know, random. But
is it like Red Roof? It's been through a couple iterations in Aviera. I think I know what you're talking. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. La Costa.
Very expensive. All I know.
I live literally right next to that.
Very cool. Oh, they were your neighbor.
Yeah. I think they're on their like third ownership.
Oh, wow.
Big golf course.
So that was your big jump to New York City, which is where you're still stationed. So what year was this that you ran this? Was it
2013? I ran my first marathon. First half and first full.
You've been in New York City for a long time now,
I've
and
been
that is
here
that
a
is your
minute.
concrete jungle,
Yeah.
the playground.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What was the inspiration, though, to go to New York City to make such a big change, West Coast to East Coast?
So I got my undergrad in theater and always wanted to be here. Did not see myself in LA. I just think the way people talk about art is very different here. In LA, it's like you want to be famous, whereas here people are like, "Who's your favorite playwright?" and like, "What kind of, like." It's just different. The culture is very different. Yeah, Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister had moved here right after college. She and I graduated together, even though she's 2 years older than me. She was an athlete. So she like took a year to go to some crazy sport academy in Florida and then kind of waited until she got on the right golf team. So she ended up taking 5 years to graduate, which rained on my parade and took all my shine. And we graduated together. So she immediately went to New York and I stayed in San Diego for another year.
Mhm.
And so we have family here and they were kind of like, "What are you doing, dude? Get over here. You'll figure it out."
To be, let's do it.
Yeah. And like huge Nepo baby, like they had a huge giant company and we're like, "Come be the receptionist. You'll figure it out."
It's good. That's a start. Whatever it takes.
Nepo baby. That's me.
No shame in the Nepo baby.
I'm not here. I was a receptionist.
Everybody has to start somewhere. So I'm glad that you were at least. That's a nice way to ease your way into that. It seems like a big change going from San Diego to New York City. Like
it was very scary. Mm-hmm. New York is very scary. It is the loneliest city in the whole entire world, which I love.
Too,
really?
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the city where people do not look at you; they look through you.
Mm.
I could see
and especially
that.
now, everybody's just on their phones.
It's always been like that. Yeah, people. It's hard to make friends here. I mean, it's hard to make friends anywhere.
We've had people on before, though, and just like maybe family friends who say that the West Coast, you can't go grocery shopping to get a few things without being stopped by so many people, even strangers. You'd be like, "Hi," and then spark up a conversation.
What?
Here in the East Coast, they're like, no one even looks at you. So I get that. I've heard that before because my neighbor's from Colorado. That's not exactly California, but that was her comparison coming to the East Coast.
Yeah, when I go back to my parents' house and run, everyone waves at each other. And so I'm always like, "Do we know each other?" Or like, "What?" Or I just straight up don't do anything and then my friend will be like, "You like people are waving." And I'm like, "So?" I don't owe you anything.
So you kind of adapted the East Coast style then.
Oh, I love it. I hate talking to people. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
Well, it's a good thing this isn't a podcast where we talk. We just stare at each other.
No, that's different. I mean, like if I'm on the subway, if I'm on the train and someone tries to talk to me, I'm like, absolutely not, ma'am or sir, or them. Like,
well, we learned the hard way. There's a quiet car and a loud car on the train.
Not on the subway. They are
not
all the
on the
loud
subway,
car.
but on the train.
It's like an Amtrak.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Kelly.
I'm always in the quiet car.
Yeah, not me.
I don't want to take calls. Leave me alone.
Would have been the one being like, "Shut the fuck up, dude."
This is perfect. Well, yeah, we met at the Boston Run Show.
I shook the Amtrak there.
Yes. And we mentioned, because my sister lives in New York City and she's a new runner. She actually haven't officially said this on the podcast yet, but she is now running in the New York City Marathon.
Oh my God. Did she do 9+1?
She did 9+1. So she'll be in the 2025 marathon. And you were telling me all about the Badass Lady Gang. So if you moved there in around 2013 and you started, from what I've learned, the Badass Lady Gang in 2014, how did that start and develop and evolve?
Yeah, it didn't. The Badass Lady Gang didn't really come about until 2016. We started our online Facebook group. But I moved here, and the first year I moved here September 2013. So I was running alone, running in winter for the first time, in weather for the first time. Like when I was in San Diego, like it would be 60 degrees and raining and I would be in a parka. Like I was like, "Oh no, the weather. What do I do? What do I do?" And then I moved here and was like, "Oh shit." Like
totally different spectrum.
Yeah, my first winter, like I went to Planet Fitness and ran on a treadmill. I also had never I felt nervous running at night in San Diego because I started running in winter. So the sun did go, when I got home from work, it was dark.
Mhm.
So I definitely did feel nervous, but a different kind of nervous than New York City. I vividly remember the day I was living with my sister when I first moved there. We shared a 5x8 room. We had an inflatable mattress that we blew up with a hairdryer, and we would do every 2 nights. Someone would sleep in the bed and someone would sleep on the air mattress. Like, we were roughing it. And I was living close to Central Park because my sister lived in Hell's Kitchen. And I remember the day after the New York City Marathon, I went for my run in Central Park, and I didn't feel scared at that point because there were just hundreds of runners around. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm not alone. There's people around. The day after the marathon, no one, not a single person was out, which makes sense. Everyone runs the marathon and it's like taking a break.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, where'd everybody go? This is a little spooky.
Shit.
Like, okay, maybe I need to join a team or like find people. So I started Googling, like, how do I join a running group? And I found a running crew, and I showed up and they were like, okay, we're doing speed work. Like, what's your 5K? And I'm like, like, I've never done a 5K. Like, I'd ran a marathon, but like, I'd never done speed work. I'd never really raced anything.
Mhm.
So they were like, they were not very welcoming. They were not very kind.
Yeah.
And someone begrudgingly put with me. And I now know I was very fast. Like, I was a speedy girl, and not like crazy speedy, but like, I wasn't slow. I called myself slow, which like makes my skin crawl now. But like, knowing the way they made me feel at that point, and I got dropped. Like, the girl left me in Central Park, and I didn't know Central Park. I had just moved there a couple months earlier, and like ended up having to like find the subway. And anyone who's been in Central Park and doesn't know it, like, when you're in the middle of Central Park, like, you feel like, where
like,
am
in the
I?
middle of
How
the,
am I
like,
ever going to get
forest.
out?
Mhm.
Totally. And I was like, it's dark. And I was like, this is a nightmare. I'm never doing this again. So I didn't join a group for months. I finally, like, the next March, a couple months later, like, went viral, and people started kind of hounding me to come to stuff, being like, oh my gosh, you should come to our thing. You should come to our thing. And so a couple people really kind of like peer pressured me into coming to stuff. And one of those was November Project. So I kind of did find my people there. I went for probably 2 months and didn't talk to anyone. I liked it. I liked the weirdness of it. It would take me an hour to get there in the morning, but I still was like, I kind of like this. And then, like, right when I started meeting people that year, I had decided to like leave my job and do this full time. And I was like, fuck winter. The last one was horrible. Like, I'm going to LA for winter. I work for myself. I can do whatever I want. So I did. And November Project was in LA as well. And like, met people and really loved that aspect of it. So that kind of changed everything for me, and really like changed the trajectory of everything. So I was like very active in November Project for 1 or 2 years. And then next year, like, that's kind of where I decided to try to qualify for Boston. And that's kind of where like BQ or Bust and like Badass Lady Gang began. Cause I started running with these like ragtag women, like as old as late 60s, as young as 20s, all shapes and sizes, could run circles around me. But I was like, I liked calling us badass because I don't think anyone would look at us and call us badass. And I liked Lady Gang because like lady is like the furthest thing from me. And gang because there's nothing less, dangerous or off-putting than a group of women running together, Like, I thought it was, the 3 words together were funny. So that's kind of how it started.
I love that. I'm just so happy that you were able to find a group of people that you were comfortable with, because I know
Yeah.
how discouraging it can be when you're first starting out. You want to find a group and just there's nobody to connect with, like either varying speeds or just like, I mean, if you're shy, oh my God, it's going to take a while to get used to people. And if nobody's like willing to kind of reach out to you and drag you in, like, what are you going to do? Just keep being shy. So I'm glad that you created something that was just so inclusive and welcoming, and just like, come on in, everybody's welcome. It's just so nice.
Community building is like intrinsically what I'm hardwired to do. It's what I did when I was like in theater. I really loved the community aspect of it, and did a couple programs with more like community theater type stuff, where they would like go out into a group of people and create a show with them, which I loved. So I took, and like theater is such like an ensemble based kind of a thing where everyone's creating something together. So that was always something that I yearned for when I moved here, is to like find my people. And once like my friendship groups kind of got wrapped up in training, and I was kind of in a place where I was like, I can't keep running marathons just to keep up with my friends. Like, we don't hang
Right.
out outside of this. Like, how do I figure out how to make a friend group that isn't, if I can't run 9-minute miles, I can't run with them anymore. You know, like, so that was a big piece of it. Is I'm also very shy. I know it doesn't seem like it. I can perform and I can
You can
be
be
in
an
charge.
introverted extrovert.
Yeah,
or
but like
vice versa.
I'm pretty shy. And so when we were creating Badass Lady Gang, I was like, the thing I hate is like, I'm really bad with names. I'm really, really bad with names. So like name tags are required. One, they kind of
Yes.
like dumb everybody down and make everybody kind of silly. So like you can't be cool when you're wearing a plastic or like a silly
Hi,
name
my
tag.
name is.
Yeah. And then we do intros. We spend 20 to 30 minutes introducing everybody so that you say something that's not what are you training for.
Mhm.
So you kind of immediately have silly things to talk to people about. And our meetups are really centered around talking to people and not just the two people that you run the same pace as.
Mm-hmm. I love that. It's so nice. It's a nice change.
It's
You
different.
don't see that everywhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I've
different
done-
on purpose.
I've done just regular run clubs. Like we did find one around us that's just it's centered around beer. So I mean, that's
Love.
if you're not drinking, that's totally fine. Nobody's gonna judge you for that. But everybody's just a little like looser. But when I was training for some stuff, winter running, I had to join a winter club.
Yeah.
Just because I am a fair weather runner. I will not go outside unless I'm peer pressured into it.
Yeah.
So just through my local Fleet Feet, they have a winter warrior program, and it was just one of those things where I found myself running alone in the dark because people were faster, and it was hard to make friends. So I really do commend you for what you started, because
Thanks.
it does help a lot, and it's going to break people out of their shells and bring people together, and it's just wonderful.
It's hard. People are traumatized, you know? People are they go to a couple and are like, absolutely not. And that sucks because we are the group for most people who are like that. And like by the time they kind of are ready to come to us, they're so they're just disenchanted and distrusting, which rightly so. So it's hard.
It is.
What was the growth like? Like, you started it in 2014, somewhere between there and 2016. Sometimes like those groups take long to grow and then expand and create awareness. And then eventually one day it just spreads.
It really blew up right away. We really did start online. So we were online for a couple years before the in-person stuff happened. So we were doing, you know, like really, I was also very lucky that I had a core group of badass lady gangers who were very, very active in the online group. Like, you can't have something like that. I think the thing that a lot of people don't understand with community is it really doesn't matter how outgoing or good at marketing the leaders are. If they're not cultivating a place where everyone kind of shows up for the community, your community will not survive. Like, everybody kind of needs to be an active participant, or there needs to be a core group of people who are loud and really inviting. They like, when we talk about community, it truly is everyone. So people love to bitch and moan about communities, and it's like, okay, well, how are you showing up for your community? What are you doing? Like, you can't just go to shit. You have to be an active participant. That's how a community works. You know, you look at church, and I think church is the best example of why community works. They have everybody fucking volunteering. Everybody has to serve. Everyone has to show up and do the after whatever. I mean, it's been so long since I've been to church. I don't go to church. I'm not religious.
I can't fact check you.
I grew up doing it, you know, like people do the flowers and people do the cookies and whatever, and people host groups, and like some people are in charge of outreach and like making sure that if someone shows up that everyone doesn't know, they're the ones that go up to them and they're like, hey, it's so good to see you. I'm blankety blank. Where are you from? What's your story? Making people feel welcomed. So if everyone's not doing that, you can't call your group cliquey, because what are you doing, bro? Like, it's everybody's responsibility to keep the thing alive. It makes me want to scream and shake people when I hear people like bitch about the community there, and I'm like, what are you doing?
You have an absolute point.
You are an active participant in your community. Be the change, my friend. Be the change.
Well said. Seriously.
Stop bitching. Either start something else or be better.
I love it. Your group also meets up like was it Tuesday nights? Like you do like
All over
community
the place.
runs or something?
All over
Community
the place.
runs or something?
New York City, we meet up Tuesdays.
That's for you, Hannah. Hannah, go visit. Go
Yeah,
check 'em out.
Tuesdays at 6:30. I'm not co-leading anymore. I stepped down this year. So I haven't been going as much, which is like devastating to me. But they are doing Central Park one or 2 days, 2 days a month, and then the rest they're downtown.
That's
So
cool.
you've really expanded. If you're not like the leader of every event, like you have other people taking over or taking leadership roles.
Yeah,
for
we
the
have a
Badass
bunch of
Lady Gang.
chapters. So
It's a
they are in
movement
different
now.
cities.
That's so cool. How far is that spread?
Canada and the US. When we first started, we did have we had the UK and we had one in Australia. Like we had a lot, and COVID we shut everybody down. We were very, very strict during COVID. Like having been in New York and experienced what I experienced, like I think I was a little more scared than most people. I think a lot of our chapters were frustrated when I was like, absolutely not. We have to take this seriously.
Yeah.
It is also hard because Badass Lady Gang is liable. Like communities are incredibly expensive to run. And if anything happens to anyone, you get hit by a car, like exactly kind of what we were talking about. Like anything happens, like you are liable, even if people are signing waivers. Like it's such a thin waiver of protection. So
And you care for all these people too. You don't want anything bad to happen to them,
No, and I
especially
care for my
COVID was
leaders.
just such uncertain times, and
yeah,
I don't blame you.
and all the women, like we're a women or people who identify as kind of a group, and to not take into account that like the brunt that women were facing. A lot of our women are moms. Like they were fucking homeschooling everybody. Like it was horrible. So I no one ever wants to step down when it's time, and I have to keep a pulse on burnout and kind of like be like, hey, I know you love everyone and you feel like indebted to this community, but like you got to put yourself first.
Absolutely.
And that's hard.
But that's awesome for you to recognize that, because sometimes that's the hardest part
I don't
too.
do as good as I should, but thank you.
Well, keep it up then, Kelly. We believe in you.
It's hard. Communities are hard.
Oh, I believe it.
Turns out. Who knew?
Well, I think it's so cool that you've built. I had no clue it expanded all the way to like Australia and around the world. Like shame on me, didn't do enough homework, Erica. But that's so cool. I kind of thought it was just a New York City central based thing.
No.
And you've really built and expanded this community. So awesome. Kudos to you. That's so cool. I consume a lot of podcasts, not just running, but when I do my research on somebody, for previous guests we've had, I'll look up a podcast they've been on, and a lot of them, let's say influencers like an Aaron Azar or a Laura Green, they mention you, and they mention like how important you've been to them for helping them build their community and their brand and giving them advice. So you've been doing this for a while, and you're really smart about it, and you know what you're doing, and you know how to build a community. That's fantastic. This whole time I'm listening, I'm like taking notes. Yes, this is great. I love it. Great comparison with the church, by the way.
Do you go to church?
No, I should more. I haven't.
There
I can't
no
tell you last
shoulds.
time.
It's
Can't tell you. I was an altar server.
So was I.
And I fainted during my hairdresser's, no longer my hairdresser, as you can tell, during her baby's baptism.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I actually just took the twins to get haircuts at her haircut place. And she goes, oh my God, I knew your dad when he was a kid and he was the altar server and he fainted. And it was her dad, my hairdresser's dad, who ran and caught me. It was like the hottest day in August in like
no.
1997.
I'm a fainter. I can relate. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you don't go to church anymore. It was a sign from God.
Yeah. No, I did my CCD. I couldn't tell you the last time. I probably really should go, like holidays or something. Just life's crazy, Kelly. Life's crazy and busy, but
I'm the opposite. Church made me not want to go to church anymore. Once I learned a lot more, I was like, oh, so I don't want to be a part of this at all.
I wouldn't even know where to start if I was to start again, though.
I never got into
no.
You mentioned the word badass, the phrase.
Yeah.
And it's not used often. I have to say it's probably one of my top 5 most used phrases.
Really?
Yeah. I love to call everyone an absolute badass.
I mean, so do I.
Yeah.
Well, it feels good.
It does.
And it is one of those words that, like, for a lot of people, you I think I don't know if it's, I mean, I don't think it's an American thing, but looking at high school sports and middle school sports, like, a lot of kids do get phased out because if you're not going to go to college, or like, it's very, very, if you're not the best and you're not going to play, like, there's such a, I mean, I don't want to say trauma. That sounds so like egregious, but like, you do meet a lot of people who got pushed out of sport. Like, it's supposed to be fun, and parents get involved, and rec leagues become incredibly expensive and like just really competitive. And it does become a bit of a job for a lot of kids, you know, like they get on this pipeline that burns them out and sucks the joy out of sport. And it's supposed to be fun. You know, I do think there's a time and a place for being competitive and developing those kids, but like, in my experience in the schools I went to, like, it was always college. Like, if you weren't on the funnel to go to college to play sports in D1 or D2, like, what were you like, why are you doing this? And it's like, because it's fucking fun and it's a good way to meet people and stay active. What?
Thank God
It's a
for
game.
girls and stuff.
It's
Just
a
having fun.
game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Parents, it's parents. They take it
Yeah.
way too serious. Like, I
They
know
ruin
parents
it.
who drive their kids an hour and a half to go to hockey practice because, like, the program on the Seacoast is better than the program in their hometown. I'm like,
Totally.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What's that going to do? What's that
Yeah.
going to do for your kid? But Kelly, one thing we're huge about here on the podcast, though, and I want to keep this about you and not about other parents and sending their kids
Let's
to
get into it.
boarding schools, but we love running stories. We love running stories of success and failure, or just funny things. And I've known about you for a while because of Erica, but what really caught my attention one day, just scrolling through Instagram stories, is you were going to do an Ironman in New York, like on the island. And the weather, I just knew it was going to be epic. And I was partly worried. I'm like, she's going to hate this. It's going to be a bad experience. But can you do me the honor and tell me how that Ironman went? Spare no details.
Oh my God.
It was epic to watch.
I mean, not to use the word trauma, but like, that swim was traumatic. I'm traumatized. So I love Ironman. Like, I watched the NBC broadcast of the World Championships. You know, like, I
got
love
a
this
fan right there. He's wearing his Ironman sweatshirt.
I love the storytelling they do around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I didn't really start getting into it until I started running, and I think it really is the storytelling that they do. That's what made me a fan, because my dad was a swimmer. Like, he was a Pac-10 swimmer. Like, he was trying to go to the Olympics. Like, he was like a very serious swimmer, and we never got to swim. Like, he was that kind of ruined it for him, and it was too hard for him to put us in it. But we did grow up in San Diego, and like, I grew up in the ocean, you know, like, I love swimming. I love water. So even though I'd never done it formally, I know how to swim really well. And I have the basics of a stroke from my dad. Cycling had never done, but I loved flywheel, like indoor spinning. And I was like, how can it be any different? Like, I'm sure it's the same, and sure, it's very different, but like, I think cycling is the most meditative for me. Like, I loved it. I found it during COVID. I got a bike. A friend of mine gave me, you know, like a bike, and I loved it, like, obsessed. So I kind of started thinking, like, I think I want to do a half Ironman. I think I want to do a half Ironman. Tossed around the idea of doing a full Ironman when I was doing BQ or Bust in like 2017.
Do it.
Absolutely not. Would never. Actually, never say never, but probably not.
I'll do it with you.
I don't understand how people have the time. It makes no sense to me.
It's so true.
I don't even have children, and I struggled doing the half.
Let's do it in 15 years when my kids are older.
Sure. Sounds good.
We got time.
That sounds great. It was a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I loved how it didn't beat your body up. One of my friends who's a Badass Lady Gang, one of my athletes, she like sent me a link to when they announced Jones Beach, which was the inaugural Jones Beach Ironman half. And it was like September 2023 last year, right? Is that right?
Yep.
I have it behind me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, let's do it. And I was like, oh, let's do it. And so I was like, okay, if we can get in and it doesn't sell out, like, let's do it. So obviously did not sell out immediately. And we were in. And so we were off to the races, and training was amazing. I had so much fun. Although getting access to a pool in New York City is incredibly expensive. Ooh. So that was annoying.
We got the Hudson River.
Danger.
Everybody's face is just like, ugh,
You and all the bodies.
cringy.
It
Ugh.
honestly is not that
That's worse.
dirty anymore, but like I have seen them yank bodies out of the Hudson. So like
Ugh.
I personally feel
No shit.
nervous about
my God.
that. I've seen them pull 3 bodies out on bike rides and runs. So
Whoa.
gross. Yeah, you know, that joke about like runners are the ones to find the bodies, like it's true. I've seen many a dead body in New York City as a runner and a cyclist, unfortunately. And yeah, that was the hardest part. But I loved that it didn't destroy your body the way marathon training does. Like I never felt really, really destroyed. I loved going on rides with friends. As we got closer to race day, I felt so confident. I felt so good. And then in came Tropical Storm Ophelia. And we were watching it and we knew it was going to rain the morning of the race or the night before, the day before. They like had you do try out the swim thing in where you're going to swim. And the wind had started, like the storm was coming in and it was scary. And I didn't even swim. I kind of got a little bit out, turned around and went back in and was like, oh no, I'm really scared. I'm really nervous.
Oh, no.
And then someone who follows me was working the event, and Leslie, who's my friend who was doing it with me and convinced us to do it, was talking with her. And she's like, do you think the swim's going to get canceled? And I was like, what? Like they do that? And then she was like, well, I don't know after what happened in Ireland. And I was like, what happened in Ireland? And she was like, someone drowned. And I was like, what? What do you
Don't
mean?
tell me this before I have to go do this.
What? And then
Yeah,
we went
someone
to
drowned. Good luck. Go swim.
Totally. And then we went to the briefing and they said at the part of Ironman, this is not like a normal race where they're like, you have to go to an informational meeting. Everybody has to go and you have to hear the race director talk about what's going to happen the next day, which I think is great. And I think should happen at normal races. And yeah, could you imagine all 45, 50,000 New York City marathoners at an informational meeting?
Just hold it at the football stadium.
Yeah. Just everybody get your ass to New Jersey. He was like, listen, the weather's going to be nuts. We're keeping our eyes on the swim. We're letting anyone decide after the first loop of the bike. If today's not your day, you can come in and start the run. And everybody in the crowd went, and I went, what's happening? What is happening? And then I come to learn they don't do that. That's not a thing that they do unless it's like really bad. Normally if you don't finish the bike, your day is done. And they told everybody, it's going to be so crazy. You can stop and do the run. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I started getting really scared. And the morning of is fucking nuts. The parking was so horrible and awful. Like we almost missed the race. We waited like an hour or something to park.
Oh my God.
So we're just sitting there watching the water in our car as we're waiting to pull in. And it is the choppiest you've ever seen. The wind is so gnarly. It is raining. It is like so windy. And I'm like,
what am I
just getting in my head? And then like I did cry a couple of times. Like I was so scared. And I was like, they shortened the swim, but I was like, I can't believe they're making us do this. Why are they making us swim? The swim was as bad as you would expect. Like it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. They, to their credit, had twice the amount of lifeguards they were initially going to have. So they were like lined up the whole way, but they were still like, you couldn't swim. Anytime you went to breathe, you just got slapped in the face with a wave because they were every which way.
No.
So I ended up just turning on my back and swimming jellyfish because it was the only way I could breathe and do it at a semi-fast rate. So I had people every 5 seconds being like, are you drowning? Are you drowning? Are you drowning? Because I looked like I was drowning. And
Let me float, damn it.
the longest. I think I was in the water for 10 minutes. I was like, it was the longest hour, 10 minutes of my life. Like it felt like I was out there for 1,400 days. It was so scary and horrible and awful. My friend had to save someone from drowning. Like it was horrible. And everyone's faces when you get out. Like you look at the photos, everyone looks traumatized. It was traumatizing, horrible. Like I got out and just like immediately started crying. I was like, I thought I was going to die. Like they were screaming at us, you can stand, you can stand, you can stand. And I'm like, if you have to scream at people, stop swimming, you can stand. Like maybe we shouldn't be out there.
Seriously.
Why did you make us swim? But in hindsight, do you know how pissed I would be if they didn't let us swim?
Yeah,
Like that
no, I would
And
too.
duathlon, right?
the day before I was literally Googling other Ironman events in the next like month to like not do it and just
Yeah,
do
you want
another
to
one.
keep your fitness and just get a better day.
Because we're
hopefully.
crazy. We're
Mhm.
crazy people. We are
Oh my God.
unwell.
But you tried it. Oh,
Oh,
my
it was
gosh.
horrible. It was
Mhm.
horrible. And they, to their credit, they were like, tomorrow's the type of day that you're going to tell this story for the rest of your life. It's going to be so nuts. And boy, were they right. You know, I do feel better than everyone else. You
Well,
know,
thank
like
you for
I'm like,
recapping.
I did it in a tropical storm. The
Mhm.
bike, even crazier. Like the side winds, like you would be out of the saddle pounding as hard as you could and not going anywhere. You know, like it was 40-mile-an-hour winds. It was nuts. The water was like this deep on the highway. Like I was like, we're all gonna hydroplane and die. This
Oh
is
my God.
crazy. But it was fun because on the way out was a headwind, but on the way back was a tailwind. And I've never ridden as fast in my life. And I'm a really strong cyclist. So I was like, I pounded the whole time and I had a lot of fun. Like it was really fun. And even though that was like, it was
That
scary
part
at
was only
times.
mildly dangerous compared to the swim. So
Yeah.
you're good.
And
You're
you know,
good.
if you fall off your bike, you'll be fine. You know, there's no cars going to hit you. Maybe another person, but like, you know, you're not allowed to, and because the weather was so crazy, they weren't like reffing really. Like I never saw any
Oh.
refs. So you could
Mhm.
like draft and like stuff like that. Like I wasn't because I was like, everyone had told me Ironman is so nuts
Mhm.
and like rules and whatever. So I was, you know, but people were like, there were no rules to be had out there. It was, no one could see is really the thing.
Oh,
No one could
shit.
see anything, which also was so scary. But then the run was just like underwater. Like we ran in puddles the whole time. Like it was just nuts. It was so stupid.
You had a friend there like taking content for you, and it just seemed like
Oh,
you
my
were
poor
loving the
friend.
experience.
My poor friends, they were freezing their asses off for it. And that was the thing that just kept me going. I'm like, the faster you go, the faster we all get out of the rain. Like they are standing out there for you. Like they have to be more miserable than you are. Like harder, faster, go. No, they were the best. My best friends are the best.
Do you want to shout them out?
Jeannie, Kelly, Melissa, my heroes, my everything.
Oh, they
Oh.
sound amazing. Honestly, if I were given the opportunity to either do an Ironman or take content, I would take the content side.
It was great. Like I do want to do another half Ironman. Like I
Mhm.
love sprint triathlons and I've never done an Olympic distance, but it was like it's so easy on your body. Like I wasn't sore. Like I just
You're getting the cross training, which is nice.
Yeah, it's so much easier on your body than marathon training. Like I've never felt better than when I was half Ironman training.
Mhm.
It was really fun. And boy, do I wish I had 3 hours to work out every day, you know, like, but that was really hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
we have a friend who was trying to get into Kona, and
Oh my
he
God.
like I don't know how he did it. Scott was just a machine. Like he retired. I think that was it.
No, he got
had-
fired, and he goes, "I'm never
Oh.
going to work again. I'm just
Oh,
going to Ironman
nice.
train."
So he had time, but just the amount of time he actually spent just cycling and running, and oh my gosh,
He would go to
you need
Florida
like
the winter just to
35
cycle.
hours in a day.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Unreal.
yeah. And then he would like go to Kona a month early to like
He'd
get
acclimate.
Yeah. But the funny thing was, he almost died every time he did an Ironman.
As you should.
Multiple hospital visits, crashing, broken bones.
Shut up.
Great stories.
That's crazy.
He's like on the total other end of how it should be. Like we loved
Not
him.
risk averse.
He came on and it would tell us just epic stories. Like there were pants shitting stories and
Oh my God.
just
Like that girl, she just like was like, I just shit my pants.
Yeah.
Don't film me. I was like,
Kudos
ma'am,
to her.
there's like no amount of money that would, I mean, there is, but it's not in these sports,
Mhm.
in any of them for the elites. Like that amount of money does not justify shitting your pants.
There was
I
no
make
money
as
in it
much
for
money in an
Scott.
Instagram post as they make. Like there are easier ways to do this.
Mhm. Mhm. So funny.
Kelly, thanks so much for sharing that, for entertaining me with the Ironman story. We don't get those as often as running stories, but
Just
that was
epic. Oh my
that was
gosh.
awesome. It was epic.
Crazy.
I really enjoyed watching that whole journey, and I've been like, since then, I want to get Kelly on the pod, and we did it, man. But hey, let's transition here something I'm not very familiar with, but sports bras.
Yeah.
And you created another community called the Sports Bra Squad. Try saying that really fast.
I did. Yeah, the Sports Bra Squad started because I had such bad body dysmorphia and I was so scared to run in my sports bra, and not for the reason that a lot of women are. A lot of women, like, violence against women is genuinely a very real thing, and that's why they don't want to run in anything that would draw attention to them, because they're just afraid of dying, because violence against women is such a huge thing, which is so fucking bonkers to me that we aren't screaming about it. Oh my God, I could go on and on about it, but I just was scared that people were going to say mean things about me, as a runner in a bigger body. Like, I just was scared. And running in New York City, it's really hot and humid here in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just a point where I was too scared to wear shorts. Like, I really, like, in leggings and a shirt when it's 90 degrees and 95% humidity is a hell I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I just was desperate enough to, like, take it off, and I posted about it, and everyone started saying, me too, me too, me too, which of course think I have an original experience is wild, but again, main character. And I was like, oh, cool. So we should all deal with this. So that's kind of how the movement was born. And then at the time I was with Oneself, which is like a women's running group. And they were like, why don't we do Sports Bra Squad Day, where we can kind of bring women together and everyone can do it together. Like, it feels so much less scary than doing it on your own. So we had our first Global Sports Bra Squad Day in 2016, I think. And it just grew and grew and grew, in the beginning, it was a lot more just ditch your shirt and ditch your insecurities, which now it's so much more about understanding why you feel the way that you feel, and not pressuring anyone to do anything, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you run in. What matters more is what you see and how you feel. Mm-hmm. So helping people more move towards body image resilience, where you don't feel good or bad about your body. You're just noticing when you're having a good body image day or a bad body image day, and then pulling for tools on those days. Mm-hmm. That's more important. But that's kind of it. Yeah, it's been almost 10 years. It's so crazy.
I love it. It's still going strong, though. Oh, it's amazing.
It's a lot. It's sad. It's really sad how much brain space we take up worrying about, our bodies and harboring fat phobia and just having body image issues. I know this isn't a uniquely female experience, mm-hmm. Like, this is across the board for everyone. We're all victims of diet culture, and especially with running, there's so many landmines with running that can trigger, oh, if only I did this, then this, and starting to become a little bit more focused on body, and health becomes so convoluted with body size, which is not the way. You cannot tell how healthy someone is by looking at them. You really can't. So doing what we can to give women the resources to just start to get curious about, why do I feel the way that I feel about my body, and why do I harbor the thoughts and beliefs I have about it, and why do I think if I did this, then this would happen? That's what the Sports Bra Squad is about now.
It's a lot to unpack, like, personally, just knowing
Totally.
what everybody is going through. But I love that it's out there to try to help people unpack what's going on. And
yeah, just get the starting point, like, all roads lead to therapy with Badass Lady Gang. And this is, the first.
We're all about mental health here.
Shoots and ladder.
We want the best selves to come out however it needs to be. And if therapy is part of it, great. Just if running is your therapy, great.
No, running is not therapy. It is not. Running can help your therapy, but running is not therapy, people. No.
I have been shut down.
I am not a therapist. Like, people are always like, I'm like, no, in my 20s, I liked to moonlight as one, but I now know no.
I find that running for me can be like just a moment to, like,
a
get
tool.
all the noise out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't fix yourself by running.
Now, when I run with Erica, that's is a therapy session, because she just listens to me talk the entire
whole time. Yeah,
yeah, which is, like, so important. Having community and people, and being in community with people while you do something like that is so transformative and wonderful. but not therapy.
So I worded it incorrectly.
No, I used to
I
do
get
that.
it, yeah.
So much of my shit was running is therapy. And now I'm like, oh no, I've made
Running
an
away from your
error.
problems.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
weaponizing therapy. I did
Ooh.
that. 20s, man. You know everything when you're in your 20s. Then you turn a corner and you're like, oh no, everything's a lie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kelly, I was just going to say you have been such an awesome guest. And before we run out of time, because I know we have a bit of a time crunch, but we have a couple of final questions to ask you. But before I do, I just want to say how awesome I think you are for always prioritizing your stretching.
Oh yeah.
As my like sign off phrase, I always say, don't forget to stretch. And I am the worst culprit on that. I see your videos and you stretch before you do your dynamic drills. You're doing it all.
Oh yeah.
And you're staying like your body is healthy, just like staying loose and not hurting yourself. And I need to be better about it. So if the listeners will take any advice, just do your stretching. I know it takes a little extra time. But
do
just
not
fucking do it.
Run unless you do your dynamic warm up.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like if you get hurt enough, you realize,
It
and
becomes
I
second nature, but
I spent years hurt, and like I finally was like, well, maybe there is something to this physical therapy
Right?
thing.
So I just gotta give you tons of kudos on that because I'm the one who preaches it, but I don't do it myself. And maybe for my 2025 resolution, I need to just take 5 extra minutes and stretch a little bit more. It's just anything is gonna help out.
Look, I would say, as advice to that, write down actionable markers of success. If you don't understand why you're doing something, you won't do it.
Gotcha.
So if you start understanding what to look for and why it matters, but two, like what you can look for in terms of how you feel on the run or in your training, you feel a different way about it. Because you know how to make a habit. You know all that stuff. I don't need to tell you how to make a habit. But what you might not be doing is understanding, like, what can I look for and why this is something that can be beneficial to me.
Well said.
Stretching helps. You feel good. Less struggling.
Well, Kelly, you have been amazing, and there's so much more we could talk about. But Erica did mention we always have these 2 final big questions.
Ooh.
And I'll start with mine. It's a new question for 2025. We have something we call the Pod Fam. So you are now a member of the Pod Fam.
In the club, we all fam.
In the club.
So you are now a member of the Pod Fam, and we are having an On the Runs pasta dinner with all our Pod Fam from 2025, and everyone gets to bring a +1. They can be alive or dead, a running legend, a training partner, a best friend, anybody you want who has probably been like somewhat involved in your running journey. Who are you taking to the On the Runs pasta dinner?
Oh my God, I'm taking my trio. I hate rules. I'm taking my 3 girls who are always like behind me and with me, Jeannie, Kelly, and Melissa, because they are so fun and so funny. And like, I can't spend enough time with them. That's who I'm bringing. It's a gift to everyone else because they truly are the funniest people ever.
That's perfect. You find your crew, you stick with them.
I know.
Your BRFs, the best running friends, even if they don't run, even if you're just best friends. Yes, take them with you. So, Eric, if she's breaking rules, I'm going to give her 5 songs.
Ooh!
No, I gave somebody 3 songs to my playlist. So, let's get into my question. We have a Spotify playlist, and I like to invite my guests to add a song to it. But if you're breaking rules, do whatever you want. Would you like to add something? It could be anything that pumps you up during your runs or just anything you're feeling at the moment that's going to bring the vibe.
Dancing Through Life from Wicked is like jacking me up right now. I would add that. I would add You Can Do It With a Broken Heart by Taylor Swift because that song has been on the playlist and has been living, which is surprising to me. Normally, like Taylor gets on the playlist for like a month and then she comes off the playlist until I'm ready to add her back.
Oh,
and then I would
gotta earn a spot.
And then I would do oh my gosh, I'm trying to think like I'm trying to think of what's going to be my top song on my Spotify Wrapped.
Ooh.
It's probably going to be Beyonce. It's probably going to be something from no, it's not going to be Texas Hold'em. It's going to be the what is that song? It goes Girls, hold on, I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Well, if I know anything, we're going to put at least the Wicked one on there because paying attention to your Philly half, which congratulations, by the way. Didn't the Wicked soundtrack like
The
give
whole
you
time.
a sub
Gassed me
too?
up.
Like fantastic.
It's it's on Beyonce's new album. I love that song.
We'll check them out.
Well, Kelly, this was super cool. Thank you for like rescheduling for
I
you had no
welcome.
voice after New York, and then Erica had no voice after
I
getting
can breathe.
sick.
I can breathe.
This was a ton of fun. We had a blast meeting you. We love your content, what you're putting out there. There's so much more we could have really talked about, like the signs you make or the selfies with the hot
Counting
guys in the
dogs.
background.
Wasn't there like 800 dogs or something at one of your New
I
York City
tried to do
marathons?
1,000. I was close. It was like 961 or something like
That's
that.
still an insane number of dogs.
A
I
lot of
would have been
dogs.
Like, pet all the dogs.
Yeah.
But I hope you'll come back one day, or maybe we'll
love
just
to.
jump on the Amtrak on the loud car and we'll go to New York and meet you. I'm going to be there for the marathon to cheer on my sister. I might run if I can
Yay.
get in. We'll see.
Oh, amazing.
But it'd be fun. We won't see you, or I won't see you at the run show.
Aw, I was just going to ask.
Because
be there.
my sister, who lives in New York, is getting married in Cancun.
Rude.
And I tried to get them to move the run show to Cancun. It didn't work out this year. Maybe next.
We
but
only have a little bit of pull with the Red Show.
we
Oh,
are
God.
partners with the run show. And actually, maybe the last thing we can talk about, the run show is coming up. What is your role this year? Last year, you were like the one with the microphone talking to
thing.
everybody. Same thing.
So I'm hosting one of the stages. I don't know which stage. So I will step in and host panels or introduce people. Mostly I'm just like hanging out at my stage. So yeah, if you come, which you should, it's in Boston. This year they've merged with their outdoor festival. Am I saying
That's
that
right. Yeah.
And so it's a much bigger group. So if you're in the Boston area, come. They've got some incredible speakers. I think Des Linden's going to be there.
Laz Lake.
Laz Lake, yes.
Who's that?
He's an
man.
ultra running legend. Just look him up. He's crazy.
Oh,
He's a race director. I mean,
gotcha.
yeah.
Have you heard of the Barkley Marathons?
I vaguely remember Barclays Marathon. Oh, there's so many people who are going to be there that it's such a fun show. I'm excited. So yeah, if you see me, come say hi, because I'm mostly just standing around and hanging out on my stage while people talk.
Excellent. And I think that's the weekend of, is it March 2nd and or
March 1st and 2nd.
Should
First
know
and
that.
second.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, the day my sister gets married, which she asked me the other day to speak at her wedding. She gave me a couple rules. She goes, nothing inappropriate. So
Are you going to use ChatGPT?
I'll think of something fun.
Just hard words that you can, or words that you can pronounce easily. Just keep it as that.
That's awesome. That's really
But-
sweet.
Kelly, this was great. Thanks for letting me walk up to you at the run show and entertaining us and chatting. That was awesome. You were so cool. And yeah, I'm sorry it took so long to get you on, but
No,
we
don't
finally
worry
did
about
it. We finally
This
did it.
was
Welcome to the
so
pod fam.
fun. It was so nice talking to you guys.
It was pleasure is ours. Please just know we are so excited to have had you. You're welcome back anytime you like, especially if you got
you.
anything big coming up. We'd love to hear about it.
It goes both ways. This was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Kelly Roberts on the On the Runs podcast. What an absolute badass.
So cute.
Kelly, you amazing badass, you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We need to have you back again. We didn't even get to touch upon like half of the things we wanted to talk about. There's so many more stories we could share. So I'm just happy that I'm hoping to get a chance to talk to you again at the Boston Run Show coming up in March,
That's
the beginning
right.
of March. Yeah.
Coming up in March. And you got your ticket, right?
I did get my ticket, code on the runs. But Kelly's going to be the host of the Inspiration Stage on Saturday and Sunday. And she's going to be introing all these amazing guests. So I hope to pull her aside for a couple minutes and just say hello and
Pull
say
her
thank you once
aside
again.
and then let's say like, hey, my sister, who is the reason I won't be at the Boston Run Show because she planned a wedding on the Run Show. Who does that? Who plans a wedding on the Run Show weekend in Cancun? But she'll
New
be
York,
running.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, maybe
But
she can
Kelly's
make
also
up
from
for
New
it.
York.
And maybe we'll go to the New York City Marathon. Actually, you won't because you'll be at Hamster Wheel. Damn, my plan didn't work. But I was thinking maybe we could do an in-person recording with her. We'll figure it out. We'll have Kelly back on the pod.
Yes.
I believe she had a good time. I had a
hope
great
so.
time. That was a lot of fun.
She's just amazing. And I'm glad she put me in my place, kind of. She clarified, like, running should not be your therapy. You can use it as a tool, but it should not be specifically your therapy. So
was
I do
great.
agree with her.
She was great. And just a quick reminder, because we're partners, just like Kelly was with the Boston Run Show. It is back March 1st and 2nd at a new venue this year, the Boston Convention and Expedition. Try saying that real fast, Eric. I'm not good at that. In the Seaport area, and tickets are now available for you to book. Don't miss out on hundreds of brands, guest speakers. Kelly will be there. Eric will be there. Interactive features, and snag your free tickets by using the code on the runs. And guys, I love that you're freaking sending me the messages and showing me that you've used the code, because that's showing the Boston Run Show and Mike and his whole entire team in the UK that people listen to this and people are going to the Run Show. I love it. You guys are rock stars. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kelly.
We know that Eric's going to be busy that day, but I will be there on the Saturday, hopefully with Tara and Lindsay in tow so we can have fun. But yeah, Sunday, I have a half marathon to run, and I unfortunately won't be able to make that day. So if you're there Saturday, try to say hi.
Well, I have a homework assignment for the three of you,
Yeah.
but I only want one of you to do it. I want you to snag photos of every booth, because I have a vision that we will have a booth at the Boston Run Show next year in 2026. Not the lay of the land, but I want to see how people create these and what signage I might have to buy. And I don't care if it's a huge booth or a small booth. I want photos for inspiration and ideas.
Okay.
And this whole entire next year, we'll be planning for that. Monday Night Media on the runs, the Ali G Show. Let's talk about that in a second. We'll have a booth there, and hopefully with our other podcast, you'll be rolling by then. But the Ali G Show, track 3 just dropped yesterday. But I want to talk about track 2. Did you listen to track 2?
I haven't finished track 2 yet. I'm behind on my podcasts.
Have you heard Allie's take on donuts?
No.
She doesn't like donuts.
Hallie, we need to have words.
Donuts?
Well,
Insane.
so hold on. All right. I feel like actually that would be a good friendship between me and Allie, because you always have to find the friend that likes something that you don't like. So you can like, hey, Eric, you like pickles? You don't like pickles? Can I have your pickle? Like, come on. That's like a mutually beneficial relationship.
All my friends want the extra blue cheese or whatever that come with the wings. They're like, hey, I'll take his because I can't have it. They say, oh, what do you want, blue cheese here? Yeah, they always ask for my extra blue cheese. So maybe that's why they're all friends with me. They're just using me.
That's like why me and Brandon get along so well, because he likes olives, and I'm like, take them all. They're gross.
Yeah,
have my olives.
Who likes olives? Oh. But anyways, I thought
more for the other person.
That would be a great question of the week. Kind of just to tease Allie at the same time, but it would be a good question of the week. So we missed it last week because I was in Sweden. My computer was dying. We were rushing through that. That was kind of fun, actually.
That was fun.
We were going to ask this last week, or at least I thought of it. Let's ask it this week. Question of the week. Donuts, yes or no? Allie G doesn't like donuts. Erica loves donuts.
I'll eat any kind of donut. You give me a fancy donut, a plain donut, a donut hole, cruller, insert donut name here.
Right.
I'll eat it. I don't even care.
Right before my Ironman, I had a couple munchkins.
Yummy, delicious.
Hey, that could be a secondary question. Are they munchkins or donut holes?
Depends where you buy them, I guess.
I'll throw that after.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
but my opinion, they're munchkins because donkeys, hey.
That might be the better question. We'll do both.
You can do
so
two.
Answer them on the story come Wednesday when I throw the question of the week up.
Please.
Speaking of the question of the week, or just questions, on Instagram you can throw it up. I put up a question yesterday, and what a response. I had like over 12 Instagram responses. I had so many emails, out of control. I got to get organized here.
Boston charity runners, right?
Yes.
It's weird because you used my picture, and I kept seeing all of our friends sharing it. And I'm like, why is my face on these then I'm like, oh, because they're supporting us and helping us out. So thank you, everybody.
Great photo
getting
for the
word
post
out
too. Yeah.
Honestly, that was pretty fitting. I loved it. I was wearing my Boston, the Boston Connect Red Sox jersey, the yellow one. So didn't it just say Boston on the front?
But you're it looks like you're
I got
shouting to the crowd, attention, Boston runners and Boston fundraisers. So here's my vision. Boston Weeks will remain the same. We're going to talk to some great Boston runners.
I was looking forward to this kind of time of year.
Who are running in the Boston Marathon this year. And I'm super excited for that. I don't want to get away from the original reason we started the Boston Weeks, which was to
Definitely.
help somebody fundraising. And that was Sarah Halleck the first time.
Yes.
And there's so many people who want to come on. So we're going to do a couple special episodes that will drop on Thursdays, probably start them in mid-March to get the awareness out ahead of time. So just before Boston Weeks. But these will be to help promote anyone who is fundraising for the Boston Marathon. And what I mean by that is we'll do a quick 15 to 20 minute hit. Some people we've never had on before, but hey, who are you? How's training going? What are you fundraising for, and how's fundraising going, and how can everybody else find your link or an event you're doing that they can participate in, and maybe, hook them to give you some money and to fundraise because, geez, Erica, they drained my wallet last year.
They drained mine too. So mine's already drained this year too, but hey, there's always a little more to go around. But yeah, we've already seen that there's like a bunch of people raising money for the Boston Bulldogs, for Dana Farber again. I think that's amazing. Even Teddy's team, that was one of them.
Teddy's team, so cool. You see that
You know
picture I
what's a cool
posted with
story?
Bigfoot?
Oh, yeah.
That's me in the Bigfoot costume at a Patriots
No way.
game. Yeah.
Fun story. When I was charity running in 2018, I got to high five Teddy Bruschi because he was out on the course when we were doing one of the long runs up Heartbreak Hill. So he will come out if you're on Teddy's team. Look out for Teddy on the sidelines.
Nice. So
fun.
You guys got about a week. If you're hearing this now, shoot me an email. The email address for On the Runs, find the link in the profile. The email's there, little email link, but it's ontherunspod@gmail.com. And we'll try to do, it's looking like at least 2, maybe 3 episodes where it's just quick 15-minute hits with runners who are fundraising. And I'm super excited to do that. And there'll be some people you heard from, and there'll be a lot you haven't. And then they'll come back on the pod again in the future. So.
Awesome.
A lot of attention to the pod lately. A lot of people want to be on. A lot of 777 runners. A lot of Boston runners. I hope you make yourself available, Erica. We're going to be busy.
I will, dude. Don't you worry. I'm telling you though, we got to get our buddy Wyatt back on. We got some chatting to do.
Wyatt's busy. Wyatt
I know he's
is
busy.
all
He's got
over the place.
T-minus 10 days from this moment to before he's doing the 777 challenge. Just a different brand, I suppose, but. Man, that guy's nonstop.
He was on the Kelly Clarkson show the other day.
How freaking cool! I love Kelly Clarkson. I voted for her.
I'm calling it the On the Runs bump. It's the On the Runs bump because he started the year, and when he talked to us in July or August, he wasn't getting this attention. This all happened after he jumped on the pod.
I think he talked to us before he had all these crises. By the way, there weren't any oh no, I don't have a bib. What do I do? And people just pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, so we're not responsible for that. But we're part of the bump, the OTR bump.
But I'm dying to talk to him again. So we gotta find some time with him too.
We'll make it happen. It's gonna be a full episode because that guy's doing a lot. Yeah.
But we gotta wait. We got at least 2 weeks to wait because we gotta wait till he gets home. More than 2 weeks.
Cool. Well, this was fun. I'm back. My time schedule's all back to normal. Besides my eye, that's the only thing not normal. Everyone keeps mentioning to me. I forget it's even looks like that because.
How long does it take to heal? That's such a weird thing.
I don't
Blowing
know.
a blood vessel in your eye.
It doesn't hurt though. I don't even. I see perfectly fine.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Well, great episode. What a time with Kelly Roberts.
You're the best.
The badass.
Such a great episode. I want to remind everybody to go check out badassladygang.com. Check out what they're all about. You're going to love it, especially if you're in the New York area. Just go for a
all
group
over
run.
the world, global.
Yeah, there's chapters everywhere, so go check them out. It's worth it.
Yeah. Great week, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. You can also follow us on TikTok. We didn't even talk about that. Let's talk about that Thursday.
Sure.
We'll be back Thursday. Tara Watt was out of a job for a moment.
Yeah, a literal moment.
Right. Check out, subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything else. We're growing. Our intro music is growing. Erica can breathe easily now that it's over.
I don't like change, you guys.
Erica, take us home.
I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay tuned until our episode drop on Thursday as well. Thank you for listening.
Mary Morgan in the house, by the way, Thursday.
So thank you guys for listening. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch. Oh man.
Erica, do you want to go sports bra squad or body positivity movement or the funny signs? I'll let you lead into that.
Oh man, how do I lead into that?
I love a joke.
I could do it. Hold on, let me do this one. I could do sports bras because it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Tits.